Lexical structure in the sense of syntax. For any programming language, to learn are able to write a code to understand what do we need to know. We need to know the syntax first. Grammar. And here syntax, in the syntax we will learn syntax, comments, literals, identifiers, what are reserved words. And how do you write a code? There's a particular standard approach. In that way only we should write the code. Otherwise, interpreter can't understand. So here, if you take here, this is a if statement condition. If you write this way only, interpreter will be able to understand. Otherwise, it can't understand. Okay, because you should use the operator. If the operator if you use the operator that is not defined by the grammar, that Python is not aware of, that is a syntax error. Okay, and how do we write? These are operands. We'll learn about this when we are learning about operators. But this is a typical full program. What do you see here? You see some lines are written, and then you see some lines are indented. This is called indentation. These spaces are called, these blocks, typically 4 spaces, are called indentation. That is defined by the Python grammar. Okay. So lexical structure as the part of the syntax, we have to use those spaces, that much. Okay, but typically you can use, but if it is consistent, you can use tabs as well here, but it has to be consistent. Yeah, after if. Okay, let me tell you same thing here. If I take the x equal to 2 if x by 2 equal to 0, and let me write 4 spaces, print okay. Let me write with 8 spaces, print okay. Then see, this is not, you see, indentation error. Why is it? Unexpected indentation. Okay, so it should be consistent. Okay, see, can you see here? I gave here 8 spaces here, but it is consistent. We don't get an error. We typically use 4 spaces only across the file. Can you see here that you can see with the code here? Okay, so here 4 spaces are for this block, again 4 spaces. Okay, but you don't have to count this tabs or spaces while you are working, because we use IDs, development environments. Okay, integrated development environments we use, like a PyCharm, Eclipse. They take care of properly indenting. Okay, so, or I can use tab. You can use tab, or you can use 4 spaces. You can configure integrated development environment like a PyCharm to use 4 spaces when you hit the tab. Okay, so tab key, right? Okay, so this is indentation. So in this block, all indented lines should be at the same level. So here, all these lines are indented, they are at the same level. Okay, that is called indentation. And if you take a comments are something we write when we want Python interpreter to ignore some lines or some lines or some text in the code, because we don't want Python to execute. Let's say this is about checking even or odd. Okay, this is comment. If I don't tell Python interpreter this comment, it will try to execute and will get the error, invalid syntax. So we want Python interpreter to ignore that. We don't want a Python interpreter to take this line as a part of the code. and execute. So just ignore that. So that is not for the Python interpreter, but that is for the humans. Okay. So this is about checking even or or. So you see, do you see error here? You don't see error. Why? Because yeah. Okay. And writing comments is the best practice. That will help you to read your code or for someone else reading a code. So let me show you. Let's say to take this, a programmer while reviewing the code. There may be yourself or someone else. And if there is no comment, he will check why I'm gone. That's why I wrote that. And that's why he wrote that. So writing comments in the sense, it's not just we don't have to write essays. Enough that is required for someone else to understand, for yourselves to understand, like small things. Someone else, when I was the it's some when I was on some projects, there's some other developer. He used to keep on writing some essays, and in that program you will find you will think that program as a sort of essay instead of a program, because you will find that much comment and that much less code. Okay, so don't overwhelm with comments, and don't write code without comments. Write code with enough comments. That is a bit. Yes. And there are other type of comments are there. Those are called doc strings. So these doc strings are used when documentation is generated, and these doc strings can be helpful for to describe what this whole function is about, or what this whole module is about. Doc strings, you can have doc string for a whole module at the top, or you can have a doc string for the class. Okay, can you see this is a doc string for the class? Okay, the basic HTTP request, this is about the basic HTTP request, and this is when implicitly these doc strings are used by the documentation generators to describe those objects, classes, functions by using this implicit documentation called docstring. Okay, and this is used by IDEs like a Python to show the quick documentation as well. And there are literals. What are literals? Literals are values that we use in a program, and that can be assigned to a variable for later use. But we'll see what are literals. There are different types of literals. The first line here called numeric literals. Second line, there are string literals. So if you're let's say in a program, if you're telling a story in a program, okay, in a program, this is about taking some text and processing text. Okay, so let's say if we are writing a program, let me give you let me write a simple program called, I'm writing a simple function. Don't worry about what is function here. Okay, and for every message, or let's say greeting, for every greeting, okay, I'm writing a function called greet. Okay, and let's say word. Okay, for every word I get, and I want to append hello. Okay, so I'm defining what is literal here, which is a string literal. Okay, and I'm printing percentages. Don't worry about that for the time being, but see, a simple code. Now greet, if I write good day, okay, what I will get? Oh, okay, this is something Out of habit I wrote. Wait. Okay, there are two ways you can format things in Python. Out of habit I wrote the percentages. Excuse me for that. So I'm calling this hello good day. Can you see I call that function with a good day? So what you got here? Hello good day. Okay, good. Greet. Okay. Naveen or Raj. Okay. Hello Raj. Okay. Greet. Okay. Steve. Okay. What do you see? Steve. Hello. Steve. Have a nice day. What appended here? Hello. Steve, have a nice day. Okay. This is simple program appending some text for the greeting. So here, what literal it is here? This is a raw value, which is a string literal. Okay. So likewise, there are different literals. What is a radius formula? Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Like yeah. How can in this sense? On an interpreter. So you couldn't means I don't understand. Are you not able to? For you, so for the time being, don't worry about this what are functions, and we are just I explain you this for you to understand what is literal. There are different types of literal. Don't worry, we haven't covered a function set. We haven't covered no different functions. We haven't covered classes. We haven't covered operators. We are very at the very beginning. So don't worry. For the time being, this is for you to understand about what are there are different literals. Okay. Likewise, for you to understand that string that is called string hello, that is a string literal. I explained that with simple example to show that that is string literal. String literal means any string, any form of text we call it as a string. Okay. Likewise, if I so these are two literals. Let's say 2 plus 3. Those are literals. Let's say area of the circle is pi r square. Okay, pi equal to 3.14, which is a literal, and radius is 2. So you can calculate a pi into radius is 5. Okay, r square. This is called square. Okay, operator for the in a program we can't write any text as a subscript or superscript, so that this is the operator for us power. Okay, so this is 78.5. Okay, here literal, what literal we used? We use this is a numeric literal. Okay, likewise, there are different literals in Python, and according to that type and what it is, there are different literals ranging from string literals, numeric literals, boolean literals, special such as none, and others such as a list, tuple, dictionaries.